Hello everybody and welcome back to the funniest tweets. Today we are getting into the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix edition. And as much as we didn't have the greatest battle ever for the lead, I mean it was literally non-existent, your memes were incredible, lots of things to touch upon, so let's get into it right now. K-Mag Chaos. Right, let's start with Kevin Magnussen because my goodness me, I did not think a battle for P12 could be this entertaining. But it was. At Rattel_ K-Mag. I can't believe how quiet the roads are this morning. I'm barely seeing any traffic. Oh, I love this meme so much. And it could not be any more apt than for the K-Mag situation where Haas just let him go. They were like, Kevin, just be chaotic. That's all I want from you today. And then to help your teammate at the end. And he did it perfectly. Brovo010, Kevin Magnussen train be like. Yes, that man, he knew exactly what he was doing. I actually remember seeing an onboard, or maybe it was actually looking back from the rear wing, but he'd cleared kind of out of, I think, turns 1 and 2, and you can hear him visibly audibly get off the throttle so that Ocon catches up to him, and then he can be really slow through that first sort of twisty section. That K-Mag, honestly, I was really entertained by it, and maybe that's just my brain going, please, I need to focus on something that makes Formula 1 interesting in 2024, but it was very cheeky tactics. At Abirama_95, K-Mag getting multiple penalties be like. Yes, of course, Ocon being the GOAT of penalties last year, and then K-Mag, I just love it. 20 seconds worth of penalties. Obviously, this year, the penalty sort of guidelines have gone up. So leaving the track and gaining an advantage, passing someone else, used to be a 5-second penalty. Now it's a 10-second bog standard penalty. Same with, I think, with collisions, which is what we saw K-Mag do both of them. So we got an example of that. I know some people are saying, oh, it's a bit too much. Some saying it's just right. That's just standard penalties. Some people, depending on their favourite driver, it's either too harsh or too lenient. But yeah, K-Mag just took that on the chin and went, I will still get Haas points, just not through my own car. There's more. F1 Friends 2023, Magnussen, the DRS train. The amount of memes of K-Mag on a train was unbelievable, to be honest with you. And I enjoy all the creativity. It's brilliant. There's another one here, Laserfin 1. This isn't a train, it's a bus. But, I mean, to be fair, it's actually Spider-Man. K-Mag stopping all of those drivers. I love how Ricciardo and Bottas were so far behind the battle for P12, but because how slow K-Mag was going, they also joined the fray. Brilliant stuff. We just needed K-Mag to potentially sort of cut, well, you can't really cut turn 1, but maybe he should do it in Australia. Just take turn 1 flat at the start, take the lead, and then we can have a 20-car battle for the lead. At Kaushik 10, Magnussen holding up the grid like, you can't defeat me. I don't really can. Oh, some of these, you just, clearly not a lot of Photoshop skills being flourished here, but I still love them. The amateur ones make me laugh just as much. And a couple more to sum up, I think, that was the most entertaining part of the race. We've got one from Widget, Magnussen causing drivers stress. And finally, Crystal Horner, P12 is the highlight of the race. What a world. It really was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me know if you did as well, because, K-Mag, at one point, I genuinely thought he was going to get driver of the day whilst having 20 seconds worth of penalties. And also, let's not forget him absolutely sending it back on Tsunoda into turn 1. Round the outside, Yuki wasn't happy on the team radio saying, oh, that was dangerous driving. That was not dangerous driving. That was actually unbelievable from K-Mag. He kept it on the road. It was aggressive. It was defensive. And I think he was ready to take another 10 seconds worth of penalties, but he didn't need to because he smashed it. Although the other instants were definitely penalties. Baron the Beast. We have to have a segment about Ollie Baron because, my goodness me, what a story it was this weekend. Carlos Sainz wasn't feeling very well in the media, and we're thinking, oh, okay, he'll rest up, come back, and then he did practice for FP1 and FP2 whilst being unwell and having appendicitis. I mean, that in itself deserves some serious props and commitment there from Carlos. And then obviously pulling out Ollie Baron, 18 years old, stepping into FP3 around one of the most difficult tracks on the calendar. You need confidence into a car he's not driven before, into Just so many variables. And he just turned up and delivered. At Unitrix 10. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think that's going to happen. I like the meme. It's great. Fred's, what a legend. What a cooking session Fred is having at the moment. But I highly doubt he's turning his head away from Lewis. I know Lewis didn't have the greatest of races this weekend, but Ollie Baron, yeah, deserves to be commended, but probably not on Hamilton's level just yet. At Ruad Staghorn, this has to be one of the best F1 debuts ever. Ollie Baron, that Ollie Baron in the paddock part, genuinely, that is literally him. A baby face, so just happy and innocent and just happy. You're just glad to be there, if anything. I mean, he couldn't believe he was walking around in Ferrari overalls, ready to go and race in Formula 1 at 18 years old. But in the race, he had some solid pace. I think he was around half a second a lap slower than Leclerc, which is no mean feat. That is absolutely fine. To finish in P7 ahead of Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. Imagine seeing your dad at the end of the race and being like, yeah, I just beat Hamilton in a race. My first race, and I scored points. Sensational. And it also shows we need more F1 teams on the grid. Okay, F1, hello. Because clearly, drivers don't move from teams that often, which means we need more vacant seats, which will make Formula 1 better. Please. Now, before we dive into the next segment, I just want to say, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the P1 YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 500,000 subscribers, which is such an amazing, incredible, unbelievable number. We'd love for you to be here, part of the P1 fam. Come and join it. Come subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And yeah, you can enjoy the rest of this season and future seasons with me and Tommy. We've got more Ollie Baron memes at soft left tyre. Now how I'm feeling this entire race. Watching any other driver attempt an overtake and then watching Ollie Baron. I mean, there was a lot of energy, I think, behind Ollie Baron and wanting him to do well from pretty much all Formula 1 fans. But most importantly, Crofty. That man had more energy for Ollie Baron finishing 7th than when Max Verstappen won the race, which I completely understand. I just found it quite funny that he was like, Max Verstappen wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, blah, blah, blah. And Ollie Baron, P7, the boy from Chelmsford. If he says that one more time, by the way, you could do a serious drinking game with that. But yeah, I just found it funny. At Swift Slogan, Governor. 4 Brits in a row. I don't know the last time we saw that in a Grand Prix, but it just looks quite satisfying to have them all in a row, doesn't it? Stroll struggles. Right, we're now on to Lance Stroll and the struggles that he had in this particular race, where, of course, he turned a little bit too early, broke his left steering arm, and into the wall he went. And I'm glad he's okay. You know, it was very clear straight away that he was all right. But then it was one of my favourite team radios, I think, ever, where the team asks, can you bring it back, Lance? And he said, no, I'm in the bleeping wall. It tickled me beyond belief. Agent 7X200, can you bring the car back, Lance? Yeah, sure. That was pretty much it summarised. The guy definitely could not have reversed that back out. And clearly the team hadn't checked the GPS at that particular moment. At Ticey46, Lance's race engineer, can you bring the car back, Lance? There were so many moves. There's another one. Steve65462, can you bring it back, Lance? And the car falling apart. Oh, poor Lance Stroll. I mean, we don't have Latifi to rely on anymore, so Lance Stroll decided to give us quite an interesting race, actually, because causing that safety car meant that we had a few drivers deciding not to pit, which turned out to not be the correct decision. We probably needed another safety car in order for it to, a little bit later on, to then shuffle it up a bit more, but hey-ho, it didn't cause us to have a completely rubbish strategy race, because it gave us the P12 K-Mag train. Honourable mentions. Now, there's quite a few honourable mentions. First and foremost, it's the very strange camera filter lens thing that they had on turn 2, because it was the wrong colour for the McLaren. It was quite literally red. SG Wallace 3, that one camera be like. This is brilliant, but I like red. My brain saw it and went, wait, is that a Ferrari? That was my immediate reaction. I was like, wait, no, that looks weird. Of course it's not a Ferrari, that's the McLaren. And they couldn't change it. So that camera operator, unless he's had a fault, but then even then, I'm sure McLaren would just get on the phone and be like, that is not the colour we've painted our car. Could you please change immediately? Another one here, at the Aaron Horn, the race according to that one camera in turn 2. Threw me off so much. I don't remember the last time I saw a camera so out of sync with all of the others when it comes to colours. It was a proper, just brain mess up. Another rather frustrating but meme-creating moment was Oscar Piastri just not being able to get past Lewis Hamilton. Like, for a very long time. The moment he did, he locked up. Then he got on the back again, and then Hamilton pitted. I'm sure he will be a little bit miffed he didn't manage to make the move, but that McLaren, clearly very slow in a straight line. At the kid_solo, Oscar throughout the entire race. And probably into tonight, and for the next 2 weeks before Australia. At Shy Ledger, Piastri be like, let me through, let me through. It was, yeah, I don't, where is the straight line speed in these cars? Because in Red Bull, it just flew past cars, and just generally, where's the overtakes gone? 2022 Formula 1 around this track was absolutely unreal. You had Leclerc and Verstappen battling. One car was faster in one part of the sector, one car was another, and they were they were DRS chickening, and now it's just DRS Train City, isn't it? At F1LN for life, me when Oscar finally makes the move on Lewis Hamilton. I mean, yeah, and he didn't even make the move, did he? At Ainsley Ferron, rough year to be a Gasly fan, Alpine the worst car to ever grace this earth. Oh, Alpine. It's, I mean, literally done for the day immediately, Pierre Gasly. Gearbox problem to the grid. And look, Alpine fans, how are we feeling right now? To go from 5th fastest, maybe challenging for 4th, to the worst team on the grid. How? What have you done to this car? That's to Alpine, by the way, not you, the fans, obviously. You didn't build the car, but you might have done with how slow it is. At Formula Latest, this moment, my goodness. Leclerc, I was worried, I was really worried, whatever he said, about the director went, nobody needs to hear this. Change camera. Let's get a little pan out shot, turn off the audio, and we can always wonder what Charles Leclerc was worried about at the end of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Thank you so much. That is literally one of the biggest points of any weekend that I look forward to, especially when the race hasn't been very good for the win, is to hear from the top 3 having a nice little unfiltered convo. And you cut away. At Ashwin_13, the wall after getting kissed by both Astons. Naughty. Don't need to say anything else. I like it. A little bit of a creative meme there. Well done, Ashwin. Right, it is now time for Tommy's Tasty Tweets. Whoever wins today and for this season will win a copy of F124 when it is released. Tommy, who has won this incredible prize this week?
The winner is Cellstone with this brilliant meme of George Russell. I just love to think that people have like a database of all these hilarious pictures of racing drivers, and there's not a more perfect situation to use this after George essentially snitched on Lando at the start.
Absolute snitch, that's it. And apparently the snitching did nothing because he didn't get a penalty. But we'll get onto that in the podcast, don't you worry. Thank you, Tommy. Well done to Cellstone or Kelstone or however you say it. So sorry if we butchered your name, but you won a copy of F124, so congratulations. Right, that is it. Thank you so much for watching the funniest tweets to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We've got a couple of weeks now until Australia, where it's... I'll try so hard not to complain about times and start times, because I know a lot of you watching have to go through it almost every single week. But we will be live on Twitch as always. We'll also have lots of content coming your way, driver ratings, full podcast coming tomorrow, and everything else that you look forward to. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll see you very soon. Lots of love. Bye.